character, and I make it make her stand out a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you were to use colors on that medallion, what would you use for colors?
I would give it like a really bright gold sort of look to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And as far as her hair and her dress goes, I've thought about sort of brown hair because you know, you see a lot of these fairy characters who are either usually black-haired or blonde-haired, so I wanted to...
The raven-haired beauties are kind of a stereotype, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I like the raven-haired beauties a lot, but as far as this particular characters, I wanted to get away from, you know, her looking like Liv Tyler or Cate Blanchett in Lord of the Rings, you know, that kind of look, and giving a sort of a natural, another type of hair color that you wouldn't expect to see on an elf/fairy, which is more of a dark brown. Mm-hmm. And as far as the dress goes, I'm kind of seeing like it's sort of green, like a nature green on the top here, and
kind of emerald green, you think?
Well, actually, a bit more of a forest color.
I see. Because
it's sort of, because she's a nature lover, and I'm kind of seeing her as being kind of like a tree in a way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, at first I was going to have her in like these really extravagant robes, but I kind of thought since she's an action-oriented hero, it would really get in the way of her really trying to be quick at something. I mean, without tripping over her feet. And I also think it's really true what that old adage is, that less is more.
Well, the robes could also suggest royalty, and I'm not sure that that's what you're aiming for in this particular character.
Well, it was kind of at first what I was going to aim for, but I kind of thought, you know, she's still kind of a princess in training sort of idea, and
she's
really
a pit. She's a pit.
Exactly. Yeah, and so yeah, these are pretty much her traveling clothes that she wears while going on her journey. So now I'm doing her arms, which, like everything else, is pretty slender, and yeah, it's not going to be shown much, but when drawing this particular character's hands, she is a fairy, and I've seen in a lot of Arthur Rackham story illustrations or Brian Froud's illustrations that fairy characters, they would usually have these long fingers, even if they are like the most beautiful people on this planet. And I just kind of thought that would be another way, apart from the ears, to help set the fairies apart from the humans. Instead of having the sort of more typical pointed fingers that the usual cartoon heroine does.
Well, with fairies, fairies are interesting creatures because they're not humans. They seem like aliens, and they seem they're mysterious. They're impossible to know, and so they seem kind of somewhat foreboding because you can't know what a fairy is like. Is that something that you try to put into your drawings of fairies, that inability to really know what they're like, and this sort of otherworldliness about them?
Try and make them very mysterious, and also a bit unpredictable. So this is one of the trickiest parts, her sleeve here. It's about how it would react to her arm coming out of it.
I see.
Yeah, it's really the folds of the sleeves that are the real challenge. It's easier to do it from the side, but yeah, but it really just takes some work. Yeah, it's really just kind of an idea, like, well, how would it be if just based on the size of her arm, and this is kind of the direction I'm going in. So now I'm going to add just a little bit of shading to some of this, because I think with a character like this, it's really necessary to have a bit of so just put a little shades around the eyes. Funny thing about this was I was going to have her sort of an eye makeup at one point, but I realized that really didn't look good, so. So one thing that helps me try to distinguish from the shadows in the actual form is if I darken the form a little bit. So just making the shading, like starting out kind of light and then darkening in some of it so you give it a bit more dimensionality. And now I'm shading the insides of the sleeves. I'm gonna just shade a little bit of her face right here, as well as her ears.